Welcome to ABA 10 Talk, a rapid-fire conversation with ABA members. I'm Ellen Volpe, President of American Business Associates. My guest today is Vinny Papalardo, partner at Premier Payroll Solutions. Welcome, Vinny.
Thank you for having me.
Glad that you could be here today. One of the things that I think about with Premier Payroll are the challenges today and compliance issues of your customers. I'm wondering if you could speak to me about some of the things that you see that are the most glaring when it comes to compliance issues.
Yeah, we usually find that the biggest, scare when we bring on new clients is just most clients don't know what they don't know. You know, they rely heavily on their payroll company to kind of guide them into, what's compliant, what's not. And oftentimes they think that they're in compliance because the payroll company is keeping them there, when often they're really not. So it's a pretty big glaring issue. I'd say about 95% of the clients we bring on have some type of compliance issues that they were just unaware about. It's not like they're trying to deceive their employees. They're just, not really educated.
They're just processing the pay. They're not really
looking
it's beyond.
Just, they're busy in their business, right? And I think that's the, big reason of our success over the last 10 years is, treating Premier as like their payroll department rather than their payroll software, to really help them kind of navigate through those complexities of compliance.
Right. What are some of the resources that you're offering that potentially your competitors are not?
One, we provide everyone with a dedicated customer service rep, so it gives them the availability to really create a relationship with someone in our company. They get familiar with the company, so if they start to identify something that doesn't look right, they say something.
Right.
And I think that's just a big, plus when it comes to working with us, because a lot of our competitors and a lot of clients are so used to where they sign up with a payroll company, they get trained on the software, and then it's like you push it over to them. With us, it's like, give us more to help out with because, like I said, they're busy in their business. It's hard to keep up with the ever-changing compliance, landscape, especially here in New York.
Right. What about the term human capital management? What does that actually cover, and how do you respond to that?
Yeah, human capital management essentially encompasses everything that goes on with payroll today, from hire to retire or fire, I guess is another option of how you get terminated. It really encompasses, there's all these products now, from applicant tracking to electronic onboarding to benefit administration to HR. That really encompasses where it's just not, here are my hours for my employees. We process the taxes, issue checks or direct deposits, and that kind of ends the circle. Now there's just so much more that goes into it. And, companies are putting such a concentration on their employee well-being and making sure that their experience is very positive. It's all about the culture. And, especially for small to medium-sized businesses, it's important to compete with the big guys, right? So, what's the experience like if you're working for Google, for Facebook, for Amazon? And how do I, as a small business, compete with that? And a lot has to do with the culture and the customer experience that you provide when it comes to how you get paid, what are the benefits, and what are the perks that come along with it.
Right. You have some particular vertical markets that you work in. Could you just share that?
Yeah, sure. I'd say that the biggest vertical market we work in is in the hospitality and restaurant space. It was kind of by design when we started Premier to do that. Just my partner, my two partners, Mike and Stacy, all kind of come from a hospitality background. So we really understand the industry, and we felt like there was a pretty big void in the marketplace for restaurants. There's a lot of moving parts to it. Every week, someone could be a host one week, they could be a server next. They could be getting tips on a Monday and no tips on a Tuesday. So, we enjoy that. And I think it kind of comes parallel to like our overall culture and what, what our mission is really to be hands-on with clients that have a lot of moving parts to the payroll. Someone that really values the service, right? So it also lends into other industries like construction, manufacturing, retail, other types of industries that have a lot of moving parts, a lot of turnover, people coming into the company, people going out of the company, and making sure that they, address all the needs for those type of situations.
Right. So when I look at you, and I know you for a while, and I see that you have sort of entered into this work-life balance kind of situation, and two things stand out for me. One is your daughter who asked to play golf with you. That just struck me. It struck my heart. And the other is I know that your wife Yvette is starting a business, and I wanted to ask you, how are you supporting your wife in this thing that she's beginning to build?
Yeah, it's very exciting, right? Because it's, you see a lot of what I've done when I started. This is a few businesses now that I've been a part of.
Right.
And, you're there as a sounding board. So, and to be able to be an advisor and a husband at the same time sometimes is difficult. But, I try to share some of the experiences that I had and more about like the failures that I had, especially in starting a business where at times I look back and I said, oh, I wish I, didn't do this, or someone gave me the advice to steer clear of going this route. So I try to really provide as much advice and, guidance as I can, but at the same time not kind of overstep because it's our business, right? It's, I want her to be able to, to make those decisions and not be too like, well, this is the way you should do it. I'm here. If you need the advice, I'll provide it.
Right.
But it is exciting.
Which is great. Do you do the dishes on one night or another night?
Yeah, we all chip in, and it's funny. My father called me this morning. He's like, "Is tonight a busy night? I want to call the kids because he's down in Florida." And I'm like, "Every night's busy."
Right.
And especially now, we're on computers, we're on emails, so you try to. It's a tough work-life balance. But
I feel
it's
that
fun.
way with my granddaughter as well. It's really hard to sort of wedge in to the routine that we all face every single day. And your daughter playing golf with you, obviously, to me, that touched me. The fact that she would see you and really want to be with you in that way. Is there something that you learned or that has come into your life because of that request that she made?
I have two girls, no boys, so it's, I'd say, my older one is more into acting than sports, and my younger one is kind of trying out a lot of things. So when she was like, oh, I'll try golf, I was like, yes, let's go. It's better than, say I'm not a gymnast, I'm not a singer.
Right.
So when you have a kid that's like, shows interest in something that you have interest in, it's, it's exciting and, to share that and, kind of see if, they also have very limited, attention, especially for golf. You have to kind of be very focused. So it's fun.
Yeah,
so we'll see how this season goes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It always touched my heart when you said it, and it's just a gift, especially in the world that we live in terms of fitting the right things into your life. So
yeah, you got to make time. I mean, it's at times it's hard, but it goes fast. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
My girls are 12 and 8 now, and it's it flew by.
Yeah.
So
they were just babies.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's great. Well, your father thinks that about you too. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's great. So thanks for coming today.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Very good. That's great. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and if you'd like to learn more about ABA or see other interviews, please visit our website at abanetworking.com.